Hello and welcome back to Nitecap. I'm Josh Rimer on NSSRadioTV.com. Right now we're going to be talking to one of probably my favorite actors in Hollywood, and just a fantastic guy. You can see him on FX every Tuesday night playing Tig on the hit TV show Sons of Anarchy. He also was Coach Ronnie Hortense from the movie Goon, and a movie that I cannot now count on both hands. I've watched it more than 10 times now. I love Goon. It's so exciting. All my friends love watching it as well. Real pleasure to be joined by actor Kim Coates. Kim, thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Well, Josh, really? You've watched Goon 10 times? Really?
11 times.
11 times now and counting?
Yes.
You own the DVD? Have you got it under your pillow? What's your problem, son?
Actually, I have it on Blu-ray, Kim. It's even better on Blu-ray.
A lot of fun. Portage la Prairie. I don't know if we left too many coffee cups back in Portage la Prairie when we were shooting it, but I might have mentioned this to you, brother, but when we did Goon, because the kids, it was a fall shoot, and the kids were using all the rink 24/7 practically. We could only get the ice from literally 10 o'clock at night till noon the next day. So,
oh my God.
Some nights the entire time.
Wow. Now, Kim, there's some rumblings out there that there might be a Goon 2. Have you heard anything about that at all?
I have. Yeah, I think it might be in the works. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Jay Baruchel, Michael Dowse, they did such a great job. Jesse and Dave produced it. Such a great job that they really enjoyed the returns and what people were saying about it, and it was a big hit. And I think a second one's going to be in the works sometime soon. So I'll keep you posted on that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Kim, before we get into the real depressing hockey shit, I know that you've had the privilege to be at the Grey Cup this past weekend here in Toronto. The Argos winning the whole thing. How cool was it to be at the game, Kim?
It just was unbelievable. Keith Pelly, president of Rogers, gave me the invite. My PR gal, Effie Eustace, made sure it happened. And you know what, Josh? I came as a present to myself because I finished Sons 3 weeks ago. It was very emotional. It was a very, very emotional year for Tig. We'll talk about that later. And yes. I said to my wife, I was at the Grey Cup last year with Theo Rossi and my buddies from Saskatoon in BC, and I want to make it an annual now. I love the CFL. I always have. And we're getting hip to it down here in America now, too. It's on MSNBC and also ESPN3 on the computer. And
wow. They
love CFL, man. First of all, they love football, period, the Americans, right?
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of American boys who play up there in the CFL, and they're just freaking great football players. And to be able to watch their sons or daughters or friends on the tube down here, people are getting into it. So, yes, I was in Toronto, and I still am hearing Argos, Argos. I can't sleep, Josh.
How many Grey Cups have you been to now, Kim?
That was my third one, fourth one probably. I saw Saskatchewan in '89. I saw another one in the '90s, and now I've seen two back-to-back. So I guess I've been to four.
That's awesome.
Have you? Did you make it on the weekend, Josh?
I didn't make it down, but I did watch it on the tube, and it was a hell of a game. And
great for Toronto, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, we weren't expecting Toronto to play the way that they did in that game. They were so dominant. They basically this is a team that nobody expected to go the distance like they did this year. First-year coach, they have Barker there as a GM. They bring in Ricky Ray in the offseason. It just seems that all the pieces fit, and they
yes, and it almost reminded me of the Giants of last year.
Yes,
of literally getting hot at the right time. Toronto started off really hot, then they went really cold, then they picked it up a little bit. In fact, the general manager said in the paper the other day that when they beat Saskatchewan, my team beat Saskatchewan in Regina, kind of handily actually, that's when he knew that your boys in blue had a chance to go all the way, and they did it. And they really dominated Calgary. I obviously saw the whole game, and super loud, and there wasn't a ticket to be had in that stadium, and it was hard for Calgary to get there, in sync. They couldn't run. Toronto's defense was amazing. You saw the game. I was just really proud of the Boatmen, man. I really was.
Now, obviously, you were cheering for the Argos.
I was dressed in blue, and as I said with all my press yesterday in Toronto, had the Riders been in the Cup, I would have been in green. Ollie Green Giant, and Keith would have been fine with that.
And the atmosphere at the game, I'm sure, was amazing.
Fantastic. Totally fantastic.
Now, Kim, with the Grey Cup, with the NHL lockout, I'm sure the Grey Cup got a lot more publicity than it usually does. It was a nice distraction for all of us that are missing the game, the NHL. I hear every day about the NHL lockout, so like I said, it was a nice distraction. Seeing all over the papers and stuff like that on the front page, so we didn't see doom and gloom lockout on the front page for one day. How have you been coping without hockey, Kim?
Not good, and I have to say, for all us Canadians, even though I'm calling you from LA, but up there in Toronto and such the like, down here in LA, it's depressing.
Yeah.
Without the Kings being able to celebrate what they did last year. And, they had such great coverage during the playoffs in the LA Times and the Daily News and whatnot, like such great coverage, front page. To not be able to celebrate it is something that I think is another one of those reciprocal things that happen in situations like that when billionaires and millionaires decide not to do the right thing. And by not doing the right thing, I really believe this, Josh, that in today's day and age, right now, we're so guilty of it in many, many aspects. I don't care if it's acting, producing, sports. It's about the money. And it's really depressing when it comes just to be about the money.
Yes.
And I know the union, I know the boys. I mean, hockey players are absolutely probably the best guys in the sports arena. They are. They're just the best guys. And they are. They're the best guys. In my opinion, they are.
Agreed.
But they're screwing it up. And the owners are screwing it up too. And to imagine these guys can't get together with the way the economy is, with just the way the world is, with just the way the stuff is, with the way they're multimillionaires. And it's so sad to continue to read in the Globe and Mail and the Post today some players talking, oh, the owners aren't listening, or oh, the owners don't want to make a deal. And then you hear the owners go, well, the players are asking for too much, or there might be something around the corner. Meanwhile, every hot dog vendor, every rental car, every hotel, and it's not just in Canada. Yes. It is in the Northeast, and it's in California. There's other sports, yes, there is, and I know the hockey's number one in Canada, and it is, and it should be for a reason. We're the best at it in the world. This blows, and it just blows, and it's depressing, and I have nothing to say nice about either side. I really don't.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Kim. And I do feel bad for the LA Kings fans. The Kings winning the Cup for the first time ever. They keep their whole team intact, which is something that you never see, Kim.
Real, right?
You always see teams lose a couple of their players, free agency, via trades. They can't keep the roster intact, but the Kings did it. They kept their whole team together from last year's Cup win, ready to defend the Cup this year, to make another run at it, only not to play and to lose all that momentum that market gained in the playoffs last year.
And that's so true, Josh. And in a selfish note, I have to mention that the boys in the Kings roster, they're all Suns fans. They go crazy for the show. So one of the trips that they were going to make was to our set.
Oh wow!
And of course, that just ended when the lockout happened and there was no hockey. And So on a selfish note, that's too bad for us because there's a lot of hockey boys on that set of mine, and we're done filming now for the year. But I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just really sad for sure.
Now, as the NHL, I know you're a Canadian, Kim. You're a diehard hockey fan. Most people wouldn't be able to put up with this lockout and would move on and say, I'm not coming back. I've heard a lot of my American friends say that were born in the States. Is the NHL getting anywhere close to losing you as a fan from everything?
No, they're not. No, I mean, come on. I've lived hockey my whole life,
yes.
So no. But I'm going to be upset. I don't know if I'll go to as many games as I used to. I don't know if I'll start watching. I mean, I can honestly say it. I probably don't watch down here in LA. I don't watch a lot of games early. That October, November schedule.
Yes.
But come Christmas and January, and certainly by March, I don't miss a Red Wings game, man. I just don't, because that's before the playoffs, and that's when it all starts to happen. So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I just think that forget about losing fans. They're going to do that no matter what they do now. They will lose fans. I just, for the economy and for everybody, we're talking about millionaires.
Exactly.
We can't even keep the jobs making cars or whatever line of work. It's hard to keep their job these days. And these guys can't get it together. And this is the third time in the last, 15, 12 years. What is it now, Josh?
This is 4 times in 20 years, Kim.
Thank you. 4 and 20.
Yes.
We're the only professional sports genre to actually close an entire season, and we might do it again.
Yes.
And we're talking the majority of these guys are Canadian boys who are the most giving nation in the world. What are we doing? I mean, what is? It's actually unthinkable. I don't even know what the two sides are even doing. It's like they're standing in the sand and they've drawn a line and they want to piss the other side off so bad or weaken it or disable the union and do the things that NBA did, and that may or may not. Why did it even get to this point? It's ludicrous to me in today's economy and what's going on with what kind of money people are making. We're nowhere near the kind of millionaires and billionaires these guys are. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. And you know what, Kim? The one bright spot in all this is our World Juniors this year. We're going to have a stacked team in December.
I guess we're gonna. The boys will be playing for the NHL. They're going to be totally. Well, you know what? With an unstacked team, we always make the finals. We can't seem to win it these days.
Yeah.
But I sure was. And we all love watching the junior around Boxing Day and whatnot. It's a pretty special time for those kids. Is it in Russia? No, where is it?
It's in Russia. It's going to be 4 a.m. games this year.
Russia, yeah.
Well, for you, it'll be 1 a.m.
Fine, perfect. Heading home.
There you go. Kim, I got to say, again, how awesome Sons of Anarchy has been this year. You've had some really big roles this year, especially when your daughter on the show gets caught by Pope and his crew, burned alive right in front of you. How do you get yourself mentally prepared for that kind of a scene? Because you really knocked it out of the park in that one, Kim.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it was tough. Kurt Sutter, our valiant leader, creator of the show, I saw him in New York about a month before we were going to start filming, and he pulled me aside and told me about the first show. And I actually had like a real nervous I don't know, man. I felt really like whoa. And if people saw that show, I don't think there's ever been anything like that ever in film or television. I can say, where you lose a child right in front of you the way I did, and it wasn't a boy, it was a girl, and my daughter, and I'm chained up like an animal. It was like, and we shot it over 2 nights, and I did a lot of research with a therapist friend of mine about the human behavior and what happens in flight or fight or the adrenaline, and when do you go numb, and when does the pain go away, or does it, and shock and awe, all the stuff that the human body might go through. And yeah, man, I spent 2 nights down by the railroad tracks down in downtown L.A., and I never got out of those handcuffs, and I didn't go to my Winnebago or anything. I just stayed out there in the sand and felt the whole thing. And Rachel Miner, who played my daughter, was just unbelievable. And yeah, pretty scary stuff. But wow, as an actor, that's the kind of stuff it's a golden nugget, you know. So pretty tough, but really glad when it was over, and took a shower after 48 hours of being filthy and moved on. And then the show, as you just said, Josh, it's coming to an end now, season 5. I mean, we still have 2 more seasons, but the end of season 5 is going to be pretty brutal for my fans to watch, to see what happens to Tig. It's been a very, very dark year for him, and yeah, it's Sons of Anarchy at its best, right?
It's unbelievable. And Kim, I got to tell you, all the hairs standing up on my back when I was watching that episode. That one, I got to say, that episode, and also Opie dying in prison, probably two of the biggest, most gruesome, scenes. And they were,
well, for sure. And poor, Ryan Hurst, right?
Yes.
Plays Opie. He did an amazing thing. In jail, when we were in jail doing that scene, it was just Charlie, Tommy, and myself. And that night, which was Ryan's final night on the show, we called in all the boys. And through the glass behind us, all the boys came and stood there when Ryan looked up one last time. and we were all standing there, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house, and it was one of those kind of special moments, certainly for him, to go out the way he did. I mean, come on, man, it's Hamlet metaphorically. We all know that by now. There's not, I don't think anyone survives Hamlet, really, so except Horatio, and Horatio's dead because he was Ryan. So I don't know if there's going to be much left after season 7 for any of us standing up, and I think it'll probably be just a huge pile of something by the end, but it's going to be revered and really reveled in, and people are, I think the fans, as you are, Josh, they love it. They can't get enough of it.
Exactly. I mean, I'll tell you, as soon as it's done, Kim, I'll probably watch it all in a row again.
Yeah, wouldn't that be neat, right? Start in season 1 and take a few weeks up in the cabin and get some popcorn and some Labatt's Blue and just watch.
I'll take like a month off work and just have a long marathon.
You got it.
Now, Kim, I saw a video done by Entertainment Weekly this past week. I don't know if you heard about it or saw it. It's of Jax and Bobby cutting Opie's beard off with a samurai knife. And Jax and Opie both got really emotional in it. As you mentioned, not a dry eye for all your crew that got to watch that last episode there with Opie. And you can see how tight you guys all are. And when someone dies on the show who's been there a while, it's really tough losing that person on the show.
It was tough. It was tough. We've lost a few over the past few years, but I think Opie was arguably certainly the biggest of us to go so far, and there'll be more coming. But that was very emotional, and I think Ryan found it very emotional. And I don't, I've said this, and I'll say it again. I love playing the guy, Tig. I do. But I also can't wait to move on, and that's the truth. I love playing this guy, but I love my movies, and I love what the future's going to hold for me. Ryan was very upset. He was really, really in love with playing that guy, as we all are. But Charlie, we all bought him that sword, that samurai sword, and it's very special for Ryan. And they had a little ceremony, man, and a lot of us were out of town, but Boone and Charlie were there, and Ryan's family, and I haven't seen it yet. John Landgraf sent it to me today, but I haven't seen it yet.
Now, Kim, out of all the scenes you've done on Sons, is there one scene that is a favorite of yours?
I love the comedy. I do. I love comedy, and this show's getting so dark. I mean, the first couple of seasons there was a lot of stuff. Me and Juice had a lot of stuff. I had a nice little spot with Walton Goggins this year when he played the transgender, the sex change guy girl.
Yes, that was funny.
A pretty special episode there. I just love comedy, brother. I mean, that stuff I did with Gemma in the 3rd season when the little Puerto Rican maid was at the house, at Hal Holbrook's house. I had a lot of fun in that robe. I had a lot of fun in that robe, Josh. I'm not gonna lie to you. And so yeah, man. I think anytime Tig gets to do his thing, I enjoy it. But I do love the comedy. I really do.
Now, Kim, we have a couple questions here on Twitter for you. And before we get to that, actually, are you ever going to be on Twitter, Kim? Have you been? I'm sure you've been asked many times.
I can't even tell you how it's gone crazy now. I really need to step into the 21st century. There's so many fake Kim Coates out there, and all my managers and agents are all over that stuff. Even my daughter Kyla's so good at stopping some of it. But I need to get my official website going and the Facebook thing going, and have people help me run it, and they will. I got a lot of people up there ready to go. And I don't know, brother. I'm old school. I don't know about the tweeting. We'll see. You know, the thing I'm learning though, really, Josh, is tweeting it's not about, I'm going to the store, I'm getting this stuff. No, it's about like my daughter's charity, One Heart Source. This is her charity. This is her nonprofit. She's been in Africa three tours now, I call them, and she's helping save the world, this kid. And we had a huge fundraiser.
Wow.
14 of us, Sons of Anarchy, all the leads came. We raised over $60,000. And tweets can, Staten Strong, Theo Rossi, right? My good buddy Theo was Staten Strong with the devastation. Tweeting can help people know what's going on, what your causes are, what your charities are. And I think I have to take another look at that and maybe do something about it. But you'll know, Josh, if I do. You'll know.
Now, is there a website for the charity that we could throw out there to our viewers?
www.oneheartsource.org. One Heart Source, all one word, .org.
Source.
The video up there now of the charity, the night that we had, and explains the whole thing. And yeah, pump it out there, Josh. That would be a wonderful thing. It's an amazing charity. My daughter, it's made me very proud.
Well, I'm going to put it on my Twitter. I'm up to 12,000 followers right now. So
Rimer, excellent, dude.
Now, we got a question on here from Twitter. This is from Myra. Would like to know if you could give Tig one piece of advice, what would it be?
Stop shooting before talking. Stop shooting before talking. Could you talk first, son? Then pull the trigger. He just fires before he even, doesn't he?
Yes.
He just doesn't even, he just freaking loses it. I mean, that's the one, that would be it. Talk before shooting for once in your life, son.
Well, that's definitely a good one. Well, Kim, before we let you go, we really appreciate you doing this tonight. Always love having you on the show, talking hockey, even though there's not much going on right now. Talking football, talking Sons of Anarchy.
Josh, I love talking stuff with you, brother. I really do.
Absolutely. But between Sons and all your other projects, I know you've been really busy. Any other upcoming projects that you want to promote on the show tonight, Kim?
Sure. I mean, yeah, sure. I've got a big film opening that I co-produced with my good buddy Damian Lee and Andy Garcia. It's called The Dark Truth. Eva Longoria, Forrest Whitaker, Deborah Unger.
Wow.
Kevin Durant, myself, really, really good cast, solid movie. It's opening in January in Toronto and everywhere, actually. They'll start to advertise it soon, called The Dark Truth.
Awesome.
I've got a couple other independent films called Ferocious and Rufus that I shot last year that I saw at the Calgary Film Festival, so they'll be coming out at some point. There's talk I might be in Prague in the new year. I don't want to talk about that yet because it's not for sure.
Gotcha.
I've got a big movie in March, April in Shreveport, which we'll be talking on the radio again, you and me, when that happens. And then my charities, you know, I'm going to Camp Pendleton tomorrow for a couple days to see the Marines before they go to Afghanistan.
Nice.
We're seeing some Navy SEALs while we're there as well. Island Cordova down in San Diego. See the Marines and the SEALs. It's always, you know, Wounded Warriors boot campaign. I'm a big, you know, I'm very anti-war, but I'm very pro-troop. So I really, I do a lot for the boys and the women that are helping keeping us safe in Canada and America, and I'm very proud of doing that too. So with all that stuff, dude, I got a lot going on. It's nice to talk to you, though, man.
I always love having you on the show, Kim. Really appreciate it. And again, the charity, oneheartsource.org. I'm going to get that on my Twitter tonight for you, Kim. All the best to you, buddy. Keep plugging away. You're doing some great things there on Sons and everywhere else as well. All the different charities that you're involved in. Kim, thanks so much for doing this, buddy. We'll definitely do this again soon.
Talk to you real soon, and fingers crossed on the old hockey stuff, buddy.
Oh, I know. Let's talk about some on-ice stuff for once.
Got it, bro. You got it.
Lockout's killing me.
Soon, Josh.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, buddy.
That was Kim Coates joining us. Hollywood actor. Always love having him on the program. We're going to head to break. Coming up soon, we're going to talk to our West Coast correspondent, Eric Peterson. That's coming up next on the Nightcap. Don't go away.